Alright, race 1, 500 Superstock. We're out here with the CMRA for round 3 in Cresson, Texas. I actually haven't been out to this racetrack in over 3 years. We only had two 15-minute practice sessions this morning. The first practice session was pretty slow due to some damp spots from the thunderstorms the night before. Second session, I got a little bit better pace in. I'm feeling pretty confident coming into this race. There are 9 other novices gridded up with me, as well as 6 experts in that first wave that you're about to see start. We use wave starts to help separate the two classes, so you'll see them have that red flag up, my hand's up. Once that red flag drops, we're going racing. Normally my starts are terrible, so I was actually really happy with this start. And you're going to see I'm going to get a really good run around the outside of a couple of these guys. And that's going to put me in a good position to battle with Jacob on the 429 you see right in front of me. Like I said earlier, I haven't actually been out to this track in 3 years. So I'm still learning as we're out there racing, trying to figure out what lines I want to take and how I'm going to battle against these dudes, try and get some passes, but also defend against them and try not to get past. So you'll see here, trying to set up behind him, trying to figure out where I'm a little faster than him, where he's faster than me, so I can try and make a good run on him. For those not familiar with the track, we just passed the start-finish line, and this turn's called Big Bend. This is a fast left-hander that I actually take in 5th gear and don't really brake at all when I enter. Now we're making the run up towards Rattlesnake. Rattlesnake's a series of tight turns, really slow technical part of the track. Right here you see it starts with a right-hand decreasing radius turn, and it's going to flip into a tight left hand, then right back into another tight right hand. So, pretty technical part of the track. You can either lose or make a lot of time here. Now we're entering Wagon Wheel. It's a little double apex turn, so you kind of have to swing out and cut back in. And so that whole little section right there, you can either make a lot of time or lose a lot of time. Now we're entering Ricochet. This is a fast left hand going downhill, you see here. And you actually don't really lift on that turn. You're supposed to just stay full on it. I just have a little trust issue with my front suspension sometimes, so I'm always scared it's going to slip out on me. This turn right here is called Little Bend, a little fast right-hander. I never really figured out what this turn was called. I just kept referring to it as that tight right-hand turn before Tombstone. And this is going to actually set us up for Tombstone, so you start with this tight left-hand turn, and it's going to come over the hill, and you're going to see this large sweeping left-hand turn that's going to dump us onto that start-finish straight. You'll see right here I make up a lot of time on the 429 coming into Rattlesnake. My issue is I need to close that gap with him so I can get that draft out of Ricochet, that fast left-hand turn, to be able to get that pass off on him before a Little Bend. So right now it's just trying to figure out how I can keep that distance, close it up on him so I can get that pass off. right now I'm looking at setting up an inside pass up rattlesnake. You'll see here, if I had a little bit more dedication on the brakes, I could have made that move up the inside. I just started to pansy out of it in the last second and decided to try and set up and get a better draft pass coming out of ricochet later. You see right now, I'm just not close enough in the draft coming out of ricochet to make a move in a little bend yet. But I know that that's kind of where I want to try and make a move on him in the next coming laps. Now you'll see right here, I get a good run and I think about making a move into that tight right-hand turn. There's just not a lot of room there to make a pass. Again, if I had a little bit more dedication, I could have made that pass, and that is something I need to work on in the future as I get more competitive, is trying to make those tighter inside passes. For those not familiar with road racing, you're going to see the green and white flag crossed right there. That just signifies the halfway point in the race. So we just finished lap 4 out of 8, so that's a halfway point, just to kind of let us riders know where we are in the race. You'll see right here, I was able to close that distance. He's going to get a really good launch out of wagon wheel, which is going to give too much distance for me to get a good draft off of him through ricochet. So I know in the next coming lap, I need to be able to keep close to him right here. So if, after we come through this left-hander, I'm going to be able to get that draft on him and get that pass off. So this is exactly what I wanted to see. I was able to close that distance up with him. And what I need to do is stay with him through this section and then get the draft through ricochet right here, staying fully on the throttle so I can make that inside move in the little bend, which you're going to see here. So staying in the draft, I'm going to pop out to the right and make that move on the brakes in the little bend to take that position. out of this turn, I see the white flag, so I know it's the last lap. So all I'm thinking right now is just trying to run a nice, smooth lap. Trying not to give him anywhere he can pass me, but just trying to keep my pace up and just try and make a perfect lap on this last lap. Unfortunately, he set me up the same way I set him up. So he's in my draft. You'll see him pop out right there and get me coming in a little bend. Now, right here, I could have turned the bike back up underneath him, coming up into this right-hand turn. I'm just not close enough. You'll see me think about it right here, though. But just not close enough. And then he just had great pace coming through this tight left hand and then all of Tombstone. I want to give a really special thank you to Jesse for all of her help with my racing this round and every single day when all I do is talk about this stuff. Also want to give a special thank you to Caleb and Paige for making it out for this round. It just made this whole event really special to me, and you just saw I took the checkered flag there. Really happy with how this race went. Well, thank you for watching. I have another race uploaded on my YouTube channel if you're interested in watching that as well.